Everyone, today we wrap up the Gospel of John. Peter turned around and saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following them. When Peter saw this disciple, he said to Jesus, "Lord, what about him?" Jesus replied, "If I want him to remain until I come, what difference does that make to you? You must follow me." Therefore, the word spread among the brothers and sisters that this disciple wouldn't die. However, Jesus didn't say he wouldn't die, but only if I want him to remain until I come, what difference does that make to you? This is the disciple who testifies concerning these things and who wrote them down. We know that his testimony is true. And Jesus did many other things as well. If all of them were recorded, I imagine the world itself wouldn't have enough room for all the books that would be written. How am I doing is a pretty continual question that I think we're all always asking. And we most often look for an answer to that question by asking, well, how are they doing? Right? We try and find our value through comparison with other people. And it really never works that well. Either we end up feeling superior, right? Well, at least I'm not like them, or we feel worthless. Well, I'll never be as good as they are. And that's what Peter here is doing with the beloved disciple. Now, that nickname kind of sets up that sort of comparison. Isn't Peter a disciple that Jesus loves too? And side note, chapter 21, this kind of shows us as probably an epilogue that was finished after the beloved disciple had died by some of his people. And so it's addressing some confusion why Jesus hadn't come back yet if this person had died. But that's kind of a distraction. But really, comparison is a distraction. You know, Jesus had just been telling Peter that he needs to feed his sheep, that is his calling if he truly loves Jesus. To care for, to guide future followers of Christ as Christ is leaving. Right? You can't be asking, well, what about them, to avoid hearing Jesus ask you, what about you? No matter what happens, Jesus' final word is always the same. Follow me. What difference does all that other stuff, how they are doing, really matter when it comes to that call? We're not called to comparison with others. Like Peter, we too are called to live lives of compassion for others. Well, that wraps up the Gospel of John, and that's actually going to wrap up these daily devotionals for a little while. I've done almost 700 of them now, so you can go back and check out any that you missed. This is something I started in 2020 in the pandemic as a way to continue making connections. And so I think it's time to reevaluate and find a different way to put some of this out there. But I appreciate everyone who has been with me, who's watched, whether you're every day or just here and there over the last several years. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for what's next.